Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? It's so good to see you, to be here. I had a wonderful afternoon today. Racine and her husband came through town, and we went for lunch. We had a very good time, very nice time.
You're on the phone and the computer?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. Hello, Enid. How are you? How are you, Enid? I'm okay. I swam 21 laps today. Wow. I'm good. I met one of my subscribers. I don't know if you know Racine. I think you do. Do you know Racine? We had a great time. Yeah, I saw that. Cool. It was fun. Sounds familiar. Well, she's been in a lot of my lives, mostly in the devotional, but she comes to the other ones also. Hello, Carol. How are you? Did you have a good day today? Enid says, hi, Carol. I've got some tea, which is a little cold right now. I've got my water next to me. Excuse me. We had a busy day today. Carol says, hi, everyone. Be right back. I need to switch devices. That's quite all right. Whatever works best for you. For all the lurkers out there, I need more thumbs. Enid says, I also switched from my phone to my computer. Okay, and Carol said, hi, sweet Enid. That seems like an awful lot of swimming that you did, Enid. 21 laps. I'd be lucky to get through 2 of them, 2 laps. I'm not a very good swimmer. Are you, Carol? Yeah, I am tired, says Enid. 25-yard pool, I think. Wow. Big pool. Where did you go for that? At a gym? Enid says, I grew up near the Pacific Ocean, but I am not that great. I can do backstroke pretty far. All right, good for you. Enid says, public pool. My husband offered to drive me if it were cold again here. Pretty well, I meant. Okay. Well, I just wanted to come on and say hi to everyone. He had the day off of work. Well, that's cool. So did my husband. No, it was called LOL. He needed to go to the men's store, aka Home Depot. Hello, Marshallie. How are you? She says, hi, Miss Michelle, and everyone in the chat. Good, Evelyn. Evening, I think you meant. Carol says, I'm having a pork chop. Yum, yum. Yep, yum, yum. Enid says, hi, Stitches. With butter, Carol? Enid says, I had pizza and salad. We usually have this on Fridays. Well, that's cool. Hello, Jeannie. How are you? Carol says, no, it was smoked. Well, that's cool. That's awesome. Sounds yummy. Enid says, pork chops with butter melted on them are divine. Oh. And Jeannie says, I had salad and baked fish. That sounds wonderful too. Carol says, Enid, that sounds wonderful. Pork chops with butter melted on them. I'll have to try it. Enid says, yep, it is. All right. So what did you do today? What did everybody do? Enid says, I still haven't finished my shawl. Hey, swimming comes before crochet because it works your whole body. Exercise, that's great, Enid. Jeannie says, I had pork chops yesterday with white rice and corn. All right, sounds yummy. Enid says, I am doing stupid laundry things and trying to crochet. True swimming is one exercise I still can do. That's so great, Enid. I'm so happy for you. Jeannie says, clean the house and now working on my queen size blanket. That's going to be big project. Well, I went to Pilates at noon, and then Racine and her husband were driving their semi through this area. So we met them for lunch after my workout. Carol says, I made homemade dog food. Timmy had to have 10 teeth pulled. Oh, wow. Poor puppy. Jeannie says, I am almost done with it for a gift. Wow. That's amazing, Jeannie. I'd love to see a picture of it. Enid says, ouch, poor doggo. Uh-huh, poor puppy. Oh, wow, Jeannie. And it is knitted. Wow, not crochet. Oh, my goodness. Are you better at knitting or crochet? I would never attempt something big like that on knit because I'm not very good at knitting. Hello, Lydia. How are you? She says, hello, everyone, and hi, Michelle. Enid says, I had this acquaintance that could knit the most gorgeous lace weight lace shawls. Awesome. That's so cool. Jeannie says, well, I am a new knitter, but I am a master crochet teacher. All right, Jeannie. So you had no problems knitting, following the knitting pattern? And Lydia says, I'm working on a dishcloth. Of course you are, because you're going to beat me. Oh, this is funny. Enid says, I miss her. She always laughed at my dumb jokes. She would wheeze. She would laugh so hard. Wow. Yeah, don't we miss the ones that make us feel so good? They laugh at your dumb jokes. She is the one that rocked up to the yarn group with a doily stacked high with yarn bins. Oh my gosh, it was my birthday. Wow. Lydia said, but you're ahead of me, Michelle. Not for long at the rate you're going. Jeannie says, knitting took me a long time to get it, and I am learning a lot at work. Remember, I work at an LYS, local yarn store. All right, Jeannie, where do you live exactly? What state? If I lived near you, I would go get some lessons from you. Enid says, she let me go hog wild on the yarn. Her friend was dumping her stash. A lot of acrylic. It was like Christmas. Oh, I bet, Enid. That is awesome. Jeannie's in Pennsylvania. Bummer. I'm too far away. That's a 3-day drive for me. Enid says, also a vintage cookie tin thing, vintage buttons. Wow. That pink and white granny square throw in my crawfish is from some of that yarn. That's so cool. Enid says, I nearly fainted, LOL. So much yarn. So, wow. Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. That's awesome. That is awesome. So, I went to meet Racine and her husband. I brought her some scrubby making tulle and some cotton yarn. She gave me a wrap, a stole. And the thing is, it is very slick because it is made with fun fur. Hi, Susan. How are you? It's pretty. Racine gave this to me, Susan. I met her today. She and her husband were driving their truck near here, so we went to meet them for lunch. Enid says, I can knit socks, hats. I did a very dodgy sweater once. I knit my husband half finger gloves with black wool yarn. Wow. And Susan says, nice. Shatika, good. Blessings, y'all. God bless you too, Shatika. Where did you meet her for lunch? At a restaurant. Actually, we met at a truck stop first, and the truck stop that was on her husband's thing was not a real dine-in truck stop. It was just like a convenience store for truckers. So we left his truck there. We all got in our car and we went to a restaurant in town. It was nice. Carol says, hi, sweet Susan. Enid says, I've knit garter stitch stuff a lot. Cool. I've knit dishcloths in the garter stitch. That's about it. Susan says, hi, Shatika. And hi, sweet Carol. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Lydia. Sorry, guys. Yeah, this is fun fur she made this with. It's beautiful. I love the color. Enid says, Lydia says, hi, Susan. Enid says, oh, I have knit a lot of dishcloths, LOL. Susan says, hi to Enid. Enid says, I crochet them too. Yep, so do I. Enid says, hi, Pep. Jeannie says, I want to make a pair of knit socks one day. It's not easy. I hear you, Jeannie. I have a hard time with socks, both knitting and crocheted, unless they're slipper style socks or booty slipper style. I have a hard time knitting or crocheting socks. Enid says, Jeannie, it is not as hard as you think. If you can knit a hat with the decreases, etc., in the round, it may make it easier. Also, if you have made a thumb gusset. What's a thumb gusset? And decreased knit mittens, etc. I have not done that. I cannot knit a hat because I can't use circular needles. I can't do knitting in the round. Anything more than two knitting needles scares the bejesus out of me. It's like a little increased spot for your thumb. Okay. And Jeannie says, I have not done any of those. Try DPN? Those scare me. They scare me, Enid. Well, I think you should knit a hat in the round like a basic one. Learn the decreases and use stitch markers, etc. Well, I don't know how to knit in the round to get it so small that I could use I can just use two knitting needles. That's all I can do. I can do decreases, I could do increases. I just can't use more than two needles. Jeannie says, I am going to do it on DPN. I will start next week when I finish this blanket. And I don't know what that means, Enid. I use DPN, circulars, magic loop, etc. I'm unchoosy. Well, that's you, Enid. I started knitting before I started crocheting. I told you some woman years ago basically called me a liar. And, well, be proud of what you know, because I'd love to know more about knitting than I do. Jeannie says, wow, you must be a good knitter, Inherited. What? Why she said that? Enid says, no, I can't knit a lace shawl. It's my nemesis. I did knit toe-up lace socks once. Cool. I don't know. I guess most people crochet before they knit. She didn't believe me. Huh. Yeah. Jeannie says, oh, that's stupid. Uh-huh. Yep. It is. Enid says, okay, I am going to knit on my lace scarf. Ha ha. Michelle, that must be warm. Yeah, I like warm. Enid says, my giant skein of red heart has gone cattywampus, and it is making me angry. Well, I think you need to put down your knitting and roll it up. It's kind of catching on the other end. The other end of what? I had to already cut and rejoin once. Wow. It's catching on the other end of the skein. If it were me, that's what I would do. Yeah, I don't know why I did center pull. I love center pull. Jeannie says, Michelle, I wish you were have StreamYard. Oh, well. So we could go on the panel with you. It kind of, StreamYard intimidates me. Enid says, I keep having to yank on it and fiddle with it. Yep. Lydia says, how many dishcloths have you made so far, Michelle? Just the 6. Enid says, yes, StreamYard is intimidating. Hello, Jamin McCurley. How are you? I'm currently annoyed. I'm sorry about that, Jamin. Jeannie says, I don't do much lives, but it was very easy to do StreamYard, and I am not very techy. Neither am I. I found YouTube Studio and it's free, and so that's what I do mostly. I've done StreamYard a couple times, but I don't want to get hooked, because then I'll feel like I have to do it, or I'll have to pay for that, because if I go over 20 hours. So unless I have a scheduled weekly live in the evening, because I won't do StreamYard during the day. Jeannie says, but anyway, we will enjoy the time with you. Well, that's cool. Lydia says, hi, Jeannie. And Jamin says, at least it's only blocked in Russia. Well, at one time I got an email saying that they were disappointed in something they said for copyright. But it was like just a warning that it could be blocked in a couple countries in Europe. I have no idea. But that's no biggie, it only being blocked in Russia. So where are you from, Jamin? And do you crochet or craft any kind? Lydia says, I use StreamYard when I do my lives. It's free. Don't have to pay for it each month. It's free. It's only free up to a certain amount of hours. Jamin says Russia coincidentally, but in America now. All right. Michelle says, good evening, everyone. Hello, Michelle. How are you? This was a gift from Racine. I got to meet her today. Enid says, I'm listening to Pink Floyd in another tab. I'm such a Gen Xer, it's disgusting. So am I, Enid, so am I. Michelle says, that's so sweet of her. Yeah, I gave her a couple rolls to make scrubbies and some cotton yarn. She gave me a completed object. I gave her the materials to make a completed object. Jamin says, also, I don't crochet, but I watch different American streamers to learn what to expect when I actually start talking to strangers in English. Like how people talk and that. And Enid is asking, what's your native tongue, Jamin? Lydia says, hi, Michelle J. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce that, Jamin, but it's Russian. Enid says that's an uphill battle. There are many loan words dialects even in North America. Then you have the English. Blimey. What's blimey? Lydia says, hi, Enid. I don't think I said hi to you yet. Enid says, I know like 3 words of Russian and they're basically profanity, LOL. I used to watch dash cam videos and learned a lot. And she says hi to Enid, or hi to Lydia. I had a good friend in high school who was from Russia. The problem for me is abbreviations and slang. And I know a lot of the theory of English, not the practice of English. You're writing just fine in English. And it says, don't beat yourself up. Native English speakers make a dizzying amount of errors. Even my nerd butt doesn't get it right always. Yeah. Yeah, I've had my relatives in Canada say I write really well in French. And they say I write better in French than they do. Enid says, if I see one more person make a plural number a possessive, I am going to finally go insane. How do you make a plural number a possessive? And it says, also when I see people type your when they mean your, like I twitch. Yep. Like YOUR would be like your car. Your car is beautiful. But YOU apostrophe RE is a shortened version of saying you are. So if you're still not sure which one to use, try putting you are in the sentence instead of your and see what it comes up with. Carol says, I love watching dash cam videos. Enid says, IE 70s. Okay. Enid says, ha, me too, Carol. 70s is a shorter way of typing. Yeah. Jamin says, your and your bow and two and two were where I got stuck and what I hear a lot of people get stuck on. I know a lot of native English speakers who get those confused. Jamin, don't worry about it. We understand. TWO is the number. TO is like, I'm going to the store. And TOO is, I want to go to, like also. And it says, now I think you could type the 70s fashion aesthetic. I don't get it, Enid. Lydia says, can someone please drop my link, please, and thank you. Carol says, I had a Google what a Gen X was. LOL. I was born in 68. Yes, and we're Gen Xers, Carol. Enid says, bow and bow depends on context. Hi, Nana Kathleen. How are you doing? Sorry I'm late. Was listening to a debate about baptism. From where? Where were you listening to that debate, Kathleen? Carol dropped Lydia's link. And Enid says, oh my God, my daughter noticed persons on a sign in a restaurant, i.e., one of those fire code things. I did not know to explain to her why it didn't say people. I still don't understand what this guy is for. That's a semicolon. Good question. Can you explain that one, Enid? Lydia says, thank you, Carol. And Enid says, yeah, 1968 equals Gen X. Carol says, I had no idea. Enid says, that's a semicolon. You use it to join clauses in a sentence when it is not appropriate to use a comma. Jamin says, oh, okay, thanks. I have no idea how to use that correctly. Kathleen says on YouTube, okay. Enid says I use semicolons with impunity, LOL. What's impunity? Jamin says, I still don't understand using gens to generalize people based on when they were born. Generation X. Enid says, I pronounce it not semi. Okay. Enid says, must be my Canadian accent lingering. Oh, that's probably me too, because I'm Canadian too. Well, I speak Canadian French. Nana Kathleen says, Gospel Broadcasting Network. Okay, on YouTube. All right. It's a way of describing a colorful, but sometimes I think it's absurd, a cohort, because they used to stereotype people, which I think is, yeah, okay, is. Uh-huh. Enid says, use it. Sorry, my computer is running out of RAM and not keeping up with my typing. You type too fast, Enid. Carol says, good night. I hope everyone has a great night. You too, Carol. Hope you take care of yourself. Hope to see you soon tomorrow. Jamin says, I still struggle with words that have a lot of vowels, like vowels. LOL. Fun facts, English has 7 more vowel sounds than Russian. Wow. Enid says, my generation was reviled as disaffected, cynical, slacker losers. I did not know that, Jamin. Neither did I. How many vowels are in your alphabet? We have 5 and 1 that can be either a consonant or a vowel. So that's kind of confusing, isn't it? And they each at least have 2 sounds, a long sound and a short sound. We have 10 vowels, but only 5 sounds. You have 5 to 6 vowels, but 12 sounds. Isn't that weird, Jamin? Try wrapping your head around that. Kathy says, I didn't know that either. I'm at the end of the baby boomers. All right, so is my husband. The last year of the baby boomers. Enid says, I'm JK. Just kidding. My best friend is online as a boomer, but my boomer parents are awful. Hmm. Sorry to hear that, Enid. Hmm. It's funny with you in hearing it. We have all these kind of interesting conversations. I think the Irish could drink you under the table, and also people from Wisconsin. Wow. Hello, Janice. How are you? We're talking about the idiosyncrasies of the English language. Enid says, my husband was looking up statistics on drunkenness, and Wisconsin is absolutely saturated. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm glad you're doing well, Janice. Yeah, we've got Jamin in here. He's from Russia. He's in the United States now, but he's trying to learn the English language. And it's kind of confusing. Nana Kathleen said, remind me not to drive through Wisconsin. Okay, Nana Kathleen, do not drive through Wisconsin. They got too many drunks there. Russian has 7 more letters, 5 more vowels, but English is by far more confusing. Oh, that's us. Enid says, I basically don't drink. I don't smoke. I do no illicit substances, but I experiment with profanity. So I am imperfect, lol. I basically don't drink because it bothers me. It hurts my belly, so I can't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. I don't do illicit substances. I try not to use profanity, but when something upsets me too much, my boil point erupts and the profanity comes out. I cannot make heads nor tails of Cyrillic. I don't know what it is. Jamin says, don't drive through Russia. You will probably just slip off the road because there is so much ice and so many moose over here. Wow. Cyrillic is the Russian alphabet. Okay. Enid says, I see it typed on YouTube a lot, and I never recognize a single character of Cyrillic. I even hit translate on Instagram. That's cool. Moose are unpredictable and dangerous. Yes, they are. And they're pretty dumb, too. Kathleen says, I agree. English is confusing. Words sound the same but spelled differently. Words spelled same and have different meanings. I will read the book tomorrow. I read that book last night. Uh-huh. Jamin says, deer get stuck in headlights, headlights get stuck in moose. My father was driving his Jeep somewhere and he got hit by a moose. A moose ran into his car or vehicle, whatever he was driving. I think it was a van. And it says, so many idiots trying to pet a moose or whatever. They beat up wolves and stuff. We're like jello for them. Squash. Jamin says, pony and baloney. That's all I have to say about people who say English isn't that confusing when they told me to learn it. Oh, you're funny. Enid says, I don't play with bears, deer species, bison, mountain lions, coyotes. Hey, Enid, we have something in common. Neither do I. Nana Kathleen says, I'm not stupid enough to try to pet a moose, bear, buffalo. No, neither am I. Although we went up to Alaska with my son was stationed up there. So we went on a hike up in the mountains and there was a moose about, I don't know, 20 feet away from us. No kidding. He was just standing there. As long as we didn't get close or we didn't walk towards him, it was fine. Enid says, there is no consensus on how to pronounce Bologna. Bologna. It's a stolen Italian noun or something, regardless, LOL. I've seen a wild polar bear on the road while driving across Russia. We've seen brown bears and black bears in Yellowstone National Park. Wow, it escaped the zoo from a nearby city. Oh, wow. That's scary. Oh my gosh, polar bears are the most dangerous bear species. Do not play around. They eat people. Susan said, I don't pat anything with no clothes on. Another words bear. I don't understand what you're saying. You don't pet anything? Enid says, I like to watch Survivor Man. He went to Nunavut or something, and the Inuit wouldn't let him go out by himself without a huge gun. LOL. I don't mess with anything that has the word bear in its name. I don't blame you, Jamin. Enid says, even humans nicknamed bear. Ha ha ha. Hi, Breezy. How are you? We're talking about the idiosyncrasies of the English language. Humans nicknamed bear are worse. I'm glad you're doing well, Breezy. Enid says, LOL, agreed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't want to mess with people nicknamed Bear. For some reason, my lips are getting very dry. Jamin says, bow and bow don't rhyme. Pony and baloney do. Isn't that weird? Yep, our language is weird. You guys have rhyming words in Russian? Hi, Grammy Colleen. How are you? We're talking about the idiosyncrasies of the English language. How difficult it is. I love indistinct lunch meat in my sandwich. This message was brought to you by bologna and spam. Grammy says, just stop by to say hi. Enid says, haha, I bought some spam during the plague and never ate it. It scares me. Jamin says, we do have rhymes in Russian. I don't think many languages don't, but may be wrong. All right. I speak French and I don't know of any French words that rhyme. Enid says, I do not like bologna. I like salami, though. What's the difference? What is salami made out of? Jamin said, though, the rhymes aren't very big in Russia, though. Well, you said through. You meant though. Okay. Bologna is disgusting. Salami is delicious. What's in them? What makes... And Kathleen says, I don't like salami. I like bologna and spam. To each his own. Interesting, Kathleen, says Enid. Jamin says, bologna is kind of good. Honey ham is better than both, though. I have to agree with that. Definitely. Jamin, are you cold tolerant? Most of Russia is very far north of us, where we are, closer to the Arctic Circle than we are. Like, can you go outside in cold weather underdressed and not turn into a popsicle? Kathleen says, raised on spam and fried taters. Okay. Jamin says, also salami is a special cut of pork bologna. of pork. See, there you should have put a comma or a period to separate those two words. Bologna is a lot of meat all blended together. Anna Kathleen says, also raised on beans and taters. I was raised on meat and potatoes with vegetable and salad on the side. Jamin said, depends on how cold the weather is, but for the most part, yes. Enid says, I also love kielbasa and haluski. What is haluski? Okay, thanks for the tip, by the way. All right, Jamin, it's been a pleasure having you here. It's been interesting with Enid here. Enid says, I went out in 7 Fahrenheit, which is negative 14 Celsius, dressed not heavily, but there was no wind, so I was fine. All right. Kathleen said, Dad hunted to supplement our meat. Kielbasa is good. Uh-huh. And Enid said, haluski is like noodles, butter, cabbage, bacon. All right. Jamin says, my house didn't have heating for the longest time, so I'm mostly intolerant, but all humans have a limit. Intolerant means you can't tolerate the cold. If you're intolerant of the cold, it means you can't tolerate the cold. Enid says, my grandpa had to hunt and he hated it. Oh my gosh, no heat? I love how do you say that word? Haluski? The heating pipes froze and we couldn't get them repaired for a few words or weeks. Jamin. That sounds good. Inherited stitches. What is haluski? Enid says, I have the body type of cold tolerant human, long torso. Okay, I have a short torso, Enid. Jamin says, oh yeah, thanks. You're welcome. Enid says, my gosh, Jamin. Weeks, yep. Borscht is good. I don't even know what borscht is. I've heard that word, but I don't know what it is. I think haluski is Polish, but I am not certain. And Enid says, I need to try borscht again. I hated it as a kid. Beets were my enemy. And Jamin said, it's beet stew and dill. All right. I'm not big on beets either. But who knows? They might. Kathleen's, Enid says, I can eat a couple beets now and not be too dismayed. Kathleen says, beets? No way. Enid says, I love stew and I like beef, so you are all so funny. Hello, Sadie. Jamin says they grow in the cold, so they are popular in cold climates. You're talking beets? Sadie says, hi, Michelle and everyone in chat. Enid says, I will not eat escargot or oysters or calamari. And Kathy says, can the beets be replaced with rutabaga? Jamin says, yes, beets. Okay, beets can grow in the cold weather. Enid, I don't know what your IIRC in my, I don't know what that means. IIRC, beets are nutritious. Yes, but it's not as good. What about potatoes, said Enid. Sadie says, I don't eat any from the ocean. All right. Enid says, I eat salmon, pollock, cod, halibut, and stuff. Cool. If I recall correctly. Thank you for that. Jamin says potatoes only grow in 16 to 19 Celsius, so they aren't super good, especially in wood. Learn something new. I found out in Britain they started eating chicken because meat cows take too long to mature. Jamin says, winter. I cannot type right now. I don't know why. So they aren't super good. All right. So Enid says, interesting, Jamin. My brain is processing faster than my fingers can type. So you're messing everything up. I had some caffeine finally. Oh, you're funny. I've been trying to watch what I eat. It's not fun. Yeah, I stink at that. Jamin says beets grow optimally in 18 Celsius, but they also can survive in permafrost for about 2 days. So that's why they are popular. Kathy says, me too, Michelle, not fun. Uh-huh. Enid says, wow, cool. I had no idea beets are so hardy. Beets die when it gets hot, though. LOL. Hello, Miss Southern Belle. How are you? It's so good to have you here. I mean, it says I die when it's too hot. Yeah, I don't like the extreme heat. Enid says, Belle, smiley face. Relatable, says Jamin. How is everyone doing, says Miss Southern Belle. And Miss Southern Belle says, I am doing okay. I'm doing pretty good. I'm tired, but I'm doing well. When it's like 80 Fahrenheit, I am like, no. Really? 80 bothers you that much? On low carb and sugar-free diet with my diabetic hubby. Yeah. I hear you, Kathy. Low carb, gluten free, no dairy, no booze. Sugar free. Enid says I had to cut back on salt because of my husband having to change his diet and I hate it. LOL. I love salt. Jamin says, Stitches, you and me are beats. What? Ha ha, Jamin, ha ha. And Miss Southern Belle says, today it was raining. I forgot your name, Miss Southern Belle. Kathy says, I don't like 80 or above or 35 and below. And yeah, I agree with you there, Kathleen. Enid says, I turn red like a tomato when it's hot outside. My daughter, too. We're both pale as snow. Wow. Jamin says, I'm actually on a diet to eat more, which also sucks because it's Lent. So I'm fasting, but also eating more because I'm underweight a lot. Wow. I'm albino, so I get sunburned in about 3 minutes. Wow. Enid says, come eat like an American and you won't be skinny anymore. Okay, Miss Southern Belle, your name is Susan. Good to know. There's a lot of Susans on YouTube. Enid says, I had a friend years ago that was of French ancestry and a redhead with freckles that would get huge blisters from the sun. My soon-to-be son-in-law is a redhead. Ginger is what my daughter calls him. So that's pretty cool, though. Okay, Miss Southern Belle is Susan R. All right, thank you. Jamin says, some people get called ghosts because they are sneaky. I'm called the ghost because if I hid in the snow, I'd be seen because I'm too white. Oh, man. Enid says, although my state is one of the leanest, people are often exercise freaks here. Uh-huh. Enid says, I have never seen a fat doctor or dentist here. And Enid is laughing at Jamin. There's McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and other fast food, non-healthy food that will definitely fatten you up. Uh-huh. Enid says lots of cyclists, skiers, snowboarders, hikers, snowshoers, walkers, etc. I used to walk 6 miles a day. Jamin says, I've never liked fast food. I don't think it's as rewarding as actually cooking. And Susan loves McDonald's. Enid says, oh, you're awesome, Jamin. My kids prefer my husband's cooking to McDonald's. Kathy says, fast food equals fat. Jamin says, ah, yes, fat food. Fast food will make you fat in a hurry. Enid dropped a melancholy song. Sadie says, we are eating McDonald's right now. Fast food. There you go, Jamin. So what's with the melancholy song, Enid? YouTube reminded me of it. It begs to be cranked. I can't listen to it now. I'm live. Grammy Colleen is live right now. My local McDonald's restaurant is terrible. Seriously, I am so PO'd. I blew $22 on it. Yeah. I'm telling you, it got expensive in a hurry because they raised the minimum wage. So, Jamin, what do you do on YouTube? Do you have a channel? What do you do on your YouTube? I don't understand raising minimum wage. The point is that it's minimum. Yes, it wouldn't support a household. That's the point. Kathy says, I ate veggie burgers Saturday at Burger King. I didn't know they had that. And Enid says, it's turned into an online order DoorDash preferred thing. The woman messed up our order and then sweated me about giving us tap water. The food was really bad. That stinks. I do a lot of mobile gaming. I just record what I play pretty much and then post it. Okay. It was bordering on being inedible. Even my kids were like, I prefer daddy's cooking. Don't bring me here anymore, Mom. Ever. Enid says I play games on my Nintendo Switch. Alrighty. I've always been a PlayStation player. They have better flight simulators. Uh-huh. Yeah, my son is big on playing PlayStation too. Enid says, have you seen the Flight Channel, Jamin? Jamin says no. I don't know what that is. I have the old Wii, says Nana Kathleen. And it says I have a PS4 Slim that I never use, but my kids play Rec Room on it. My old Wii. Sorry, my cat killed it. Well, I think I'm gonna head out, everyone, because I'm yawning like crazy over here. Jamin says I used to be a Naval Air Force mechanic for the Russian Air Force, so I really like accurate plane games with good physics. Hello, Ravant. How are you? My daughter went to school to be a physicist, and her fiance is going to school to be a chemical engineer. Kathy says, blessings to everyone and good night. Enid says, hey, Star. Star says, I'm here. Woohoo. That's awesome. My husband was in the Navy in the United States for aircraft mechanic also. So, hey, Star. Good night, Kathleen. Good night, all, says Sadie. Hello, Inherited Stitches, says Star. Good night, Newfie. I was about ready to go, Ravant, because I'm falling asleep here. I'm yawning like crazy. I'm doing good, missing your live streams in the morning. Yes, you are. So how have you been, Star? Susan says good night to everyone. Enid says, how is the flock, Star? Star says, good night, Miss Southern Belle. Last I knew, his flock of 15 became a flock of 5. Jamin said good night. Hope you all have a good night. Sleep well. Ravant says flock is surviving as the summer is getting near. We are building a roosting place. That's cool. Enid says good night, Belle, and good star. Ravant says good night, Michelle. It's nice to see you. It's good to have you here, all of you. I hope you all sleep well. Ravant, it's early morning for you, right? Jamin says, what kinds of hobbies do y'all have besides crocheting? I try to exercise, eat healthy, and take care of the house, pretty much. What about you, Jamin? What do you do besides video games? We like collecting yarn. Enid says, I cross stitch, do black work, knit, I forget what else. Oh, and Lego. I am also an occasional swimmer. Jamin says, I do a lot of research on pointless topics for no apparent reason. Who supports you, Jamin? Ravant says, I teach English, gardening, collecting coins. That's cool. And he raises chickens. Enid says, me too, Jamin. It's good for your edification. I usually jump between things really quickly, but always stuck with planes and ants. Wow. Ravant says, oh yes, chickens too. Yep, that's cool. So today I had exercise class, and what do you call a chicken farmer? I wouldn't know. Jamin says, never been a big exercise guy. I have a condition that makes it hard to do things for long periods of times. I think I do too, Jamin. It's like weak muscles. Poultryman? Poultryman. Eggsy. A chicken farmer is an eggsy. Okay. Wow. Eggsy. Well, I'm gonna go because I've been on an hour and a half and I need to go to bed. It's 9:00 here. Past my bedtime. Enid says, I have severe spine arthritis. I have arthritis in my lower back. Okay, sleep well, Michelle. Good night, says Ravant. Good night, Star. Good night, Jamin. Good night, Enid. And everyone else who's here. Take care. But I can swim many laps, thank God. That's good, Enid. Keep it up. Nice hanging out with you. Thank you for coming in. It's been fun. Enjoy your evening.